Hello, guys, gals, non-binary pals. My name's Andrew Otway, and I think we actually have sound this time. Sweet. Um, it is my extreme and exquisite pleasure to bring you another episode, another session, if you will, of our Blast-Heath Burns, which is our Burning Wheel campaign for that D&D podcast. I know how words work, and other people who know how words work are also in this video call with me. So I'll stop talking and let them start talking. Right. Just imagining Magnus on a cell phone. Yes, this is Magnus. Interesting. I wonder if Twitch did a thing. And, well, no, it's me, and then it looks like, yeah. So we'll get Adam to introduce himself again. And, okay, let's try that.
So I need to do this again.
Yeah, sorry.
So, okay, so hi, my name's Adam. Today I'll be playing Magnus Luciano, the enterprising mogul trying to buy everything, yada yada yada. Duel Wits.
That's it. No Blitz. All right.
Paraphrasing.
Hi, everybody. Mike J. Darkson Broward here. I am playing my would-be assassin / spy person who's not all that great at everything. That is Lady Margareta Agnesia Luca Pasqualina Bianca de Fabri. And she believes in winning back her father's favor, despite the fact that she is the disfavored daughter of a prince, through disrupting the usurper's court and possibly killing people, and is in the middle of aggressive negotiations with unknown people.
Is killing people really just a possibility at this point? It's just a theoretical possibility.
I didn't kill anyone last session.
Based on prior data.
Last session. I haven't killed anybody for a whole 3 hours of game.
We are doing a rolling average.
Oh, we're at a rolling average of 0.66 people killed per session? Is that?
Yeah. Less than one. Just
Less
saying.
than one. Hi, everybody. I'm Zach. He, him pronouns. I am playing Indiso de la Vino, the proprietor of the Two Tusks Grapery and Distillery, and probably religious center. We're not sure yet. We're working all this out. It's sort of in motion as it stands.
I love how we have, like... It just struck me that we've got, like, 3 different facets of, like, modern colonialism in the party, where we've got religious control, violent control, and capital control represented by the party. And maybe I'm playing the good guys.
It's entirely possible. I'm pretty sure I'm not the good guy. I'm completely sure Magnus is not the good guy.
Magnus is the best guy.
Magnus can buy forgiveness.
I was gonna say, Magnus can buy all the best people. So,
I just want to... So, Bagquill, longtime fan of this campaign, as long as Longtime gets in a 4-session campaign, mentioned that they hadn't murdered anybody yet in their Burning Wheel game.
How does the plot progress without murder?
Well, so here's something that I want to, like... It's a thing that I don't know if it's been sufficiently well underscored, but, like, part of what I'm hoping to do with this is sort of interrogate what life is like in a D&D universe, but not in D&D. So, like, one of the things that I want to have happen is, like, if you murder people, like, you actually, like, somehow earn experience and just get stronger and scarier, which is just, like, a thing that's kind of true in the background radiation of the universe. And, like, I don't know if anybody in the party is going to be heading out and just, you know, grinding villagers to level up a couple times, but it's sort of something that I want the universe to acknowledge to some extent. Because this is the kind of nerd I am, and I've got a captive audience of friends.
We will support you.
We also, when we were world building, didn't we have the idea of living items effectively leveling up as they killed? We haven't done anything with that either.
Not really yet.
Well, my pistol has 1 death on it.
It's also not a very good pistol, but I mean, yeah, who knows? It might get better.
You need to feed the blood guy.
Yeah. You already stabbed somebody to death too, didn't you?
No.
No.
Not on screen.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Are we only counting on-screen deaths?
Well, one of the questions at the start of the game was, how many people have you murdered with your own hands? And Margareta was the only person who counted more than one. For the steel question, I want to say that is. It doesn't make sense for it to be health, so it'll be steel.
Well, I mean, in this game, it might be health, right? It might be a health question.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about it, Backquill. I wasn't taking your remarks as disparaging. I thought it was a useful launching point to basically just be the nerd that I am.
Also, because it's us, by like session 7, everything will be on fire, and it will probably be our fault, and then the stabbing will commence in earnest.
Yeah, I haven't
Maybe.
inflicted the foreign powers on you guys yet. And there's a few other things in this setting that are extant levers, let's say.
It's a tasty setting.
You done good with this.
Yeah.
We all did good.
Listen, you get the majority of the blame at this point, partially because that's the kind of person I am, and partially because you did a very good job, and we mostly took the ball that you created. Like, you skinned the pig, cured the leather, made the inner bladder, created the ball, sewed it together, and inflated it, and then we took it and ran with it, but you did a lot of preparatory work for us. We should go over people's beliefs, instincts, and traits, because those are central to characters.
Sure. So Magnus has beliefs. First, that non-citizens should not be allowed here. I'll drive them out of business, which I need to do more of. I must preserve the citizenship. I'll bring together the old families by restoring the Merchants Guild, which hopefully I'll do today. And I think we...
You accomplished this last one.
The last one, yeah. I'm trying to think of the persona. Yeah, that's it. Persona, this one. My wealth is my power. I must use it to thwart the Silver Hearth by owning the land.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I didn't actually have a belief ready for this.
I mean, you can leave it blank and we can pencil it in.
Yeah, I'll see if I come something before we get started.
Sure.
Instincts. I never pay full price for anything. I refuse to lie to make a deal. I'm writing my memoirs.
Nice.
Traits. Inscrutable, distracted, self-satisfied, prideful, traditionalist, affinity for business.
Very good.
And yeah, like I said, I'm playing Leona Margaret against Luca Pasqualina Bianca de Fabri. And her beliefs are: I will win my father's favor by inserting myself to the usurper's court. I will disrupt the usurper's effort by gaining access to their ledgers. I'll change the root in chaos. And killing? ? Person is the next step on that path. We're not really sure if killing is still going to be like her main thrust, but we'll see. Instincts: I will pry every secret from every lip. Never let someone get too close, and always be network building. Lady Margareta's traits are your lordship, prideful, violent, and traditionalist, as are all of ours here, as well as cold-hearted, darling of the court, mark of privilege, and aura of innocence. Her relationships are the prince's with her father, the prince, as a disfavored daughter, and Timothy Cartswallop, who I am trying not to kill. He has a lot of keys and notes, both that I want to burn and keep, irrespective of each other.
Okay. Okay, so I am playing Indiso de Lavino. As I said earlier, the proprietor of the Two Tusk Grapery Distillery Religious Center. And my beliefs are: I am a maestro of the grapery. I will create a vintage that proves this. which is sort of in the background right now. The distillery is one of several steps I am taking for the future of the grapery. I need to get that up and running as soon as possible. And my dreams have power, but I must learn to better interpret them. I will construct a sanctum for my studies. I am essentially like a Harvest Moon character, but someone who makes wine instead. Like I'm just like building on my farm all the time.
That's
So-
Stardew Valley.
No.
Stardew Valley, you get casks and you throw like raspberries and you make raspberry wine and it sells for $1 trillion.
I must have missed the part in Stardew Valley where you go down to the local witch with your insurrectionist friend, which then reprograms you into being respectful to your elders, and you decide to abandon the winemaking.
You didn't meet the
hobby
wizard and like
in
drink
favor
his forest drugs.
of learning to throw the bones.
Like drink the wizard's forest drugs and learn to see the creatures that probably aren't there, and then start fulfilling tasks for them so they restore a community center.
The creatures are totally there because they get sad if you buy Jojo Mart instead, and then you just throw money at the problem. Oh wait, I guess that's capitalism, huh?
So, just as a point of order, I am not abandoning my grapery or my vintner nature. I am melding the two aspects of my personality together. Yeah, that's definitely happening. So my instincts are: I will always accept a drink if offered and inquire if none is. I will look for occult signs in all things. And I will always follow my dream.
God.
My character traits are patient and off-kilter, and then prideful, violent traditionalist. And then the last one that got added here is extremely respectful of one's betters, which is the product of the late-night jaunt with Lady Margarita into the woods to meet the wizened one who set me back on the path. My relationships are with my cousin, lover, sister-in-law to the princess, and to the old mystic of the valley.
Awesome.
They would definitely need her on camera more often.
The old
Not the
mystic
mystic,
lady?
No, the
the-
lover.
We should take Adam to the old mystic lady, and I should make a offhand remark about reprogramming him.
I mean, she can't ruin every single sorcery roll that she has to make.
Before we go, I'm buying her swamp.
Her
Adam,
mountain
actually,
swamp.
I think I figured it out, Adam. We must have gone to the witch earlier, and that's why we can't remember the second escape room we did in Fairfax.
Yeah.
There you go.
Technically the first, because we did that one.
We don't even know which order it was in. Adam and I
Right,
have the
definitely
same shaped
first.
hole in our memory. I was discussing this today. We did a thing, and neither of us can remember doing anything except going to do the thing, and it's just gone now. It's missing from everyone's memory who was there. It's really weird.
That memory escaped.
Escaped from at least 3 people. Sorry. Please continue.
I'm just like, that's kind of really creepy, and I like that.
It is super creepy. I can send you the text conversation. It's bizarre.
Well, it feels like the sort of hook that we could hang a campaign on, but anyways. Awesome. So, I have a couple ideas for what scene could come first, but if anybody has something that they want to address, flag that they would like to plant. Yeah, Mike?
We sort of left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
If you want to continue to hang that cliff, I understand.
That was the scene that I had in mind to start us off with. Where it was a guard had walked in on you and said,
There's somebody outside that you really should talk to.
well, my lady, yeah, would like a word with you.
My lady.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yes.
As guards.
Otherwise, yeah, he arrests himself and cuts off his own head.
No.
But yeah, no, it's you've just finished doing a forgery. You succeeded on that, didn't you? Yeah.
I did, despite all odds.
Yeah, no, you tied that forgery roll.
Yeah. And then I kicked it under the dresser or something.
Yeah, to slightly obfuscate it.
Right. So they'd find it.
Yeah, so this guard has walked into the room and says, "My lady, if you'll come with me, probably like a title that's not specific to one person, but something like the Duchess would like a word with you or something, right?"
Right. Okay. Certainly, as a noble myself, I am quite familiar with being summoned by royal people. Yes. Let's onwards then. Thank you.
Yeah, and leads you out and through a few back alleys. This person like knows their way around, but is also avoiding major streets. I mean, you're a spy. You know about spycraft. This person knows about spycraft. Like game recognized game.
This is a game. Yeah. And I'll keep that in mind. I don't know if I need to make like a roll here for I don't really have what I was looking for, like observation to see if like I'm being. Do I need to keep track of where I am, or is it recognizable where I'm going?
Yeah, you're from the city. You know where you are. Like what's obvious to you is you're just taking a very not direct route.
Gotcha. Doubling back in case we're being followed.
And not like I don't even know if this person looks behind them. They just trust that this route that they're taking is. But yeah, there's doubling back. There's a few things like that. Excuse me. And eventually leads you to like some obscure side door in the palace. Opens the door and says like third door on your left.
I go to the third door and I like instead of knocking, I like cough politely.
Mm-hmm.
And then I open the door and walk in.
Yeah. Well, no, she says enter.
Okay.
She was a huntsmistress. She has good hearing.
Do I recognize this person?
You're up on court. You're the darling of the court. Yeah. This is Governess Anna Terreno, the court huntsmistress. I actually made a character sheet for her.
Ooh.
She has seen active military service. Also was the court huntswoman for a while, then a bannerman, and then came back to court as a governess. I don't think I actually fully burned all of her skills, but yeah, she's sort of a middle-aged lady, medieval times middle-aged. She's 42. Dignified, pretty toned for someone like of her age, and just sort of eyes you with a cold confidence from across a desk and says, "My lady, may I sit?"
She's asking me if she can sit.
No, you may sit.
Oh, you may sit. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is an opera. I was looking here through my my skill list to see if there's something here. If I could like pull one over or put on, but I don't really have a skill that's like figuring out what's going on.
Okay. I mean, well, what sort of thing would you get on success? What do you want?
I want to create the illusion that I understand, you know, like that that dragon thing where, you know, they always actually already have the answer for what's going on, like the Sherlock Holmes Ian. Yeah, so you've summoned me here to talk about your plan to overthrow the government, sort of thing.
Sure.
Right? Like logical leaps.
Yeah, I mean, like it might just be perception, and probably very difficult perception, but
It could actually just be like, and this is Burning Wheel. There's a skill for everything.
right. Well, yeah, I mean, like, are you court intrigue wise? Are you?
I mean, I should be, but
Yeah.
I am clearly not. Right? I have, I mean, observation. That's like noticing things, right?
Revolution wise, observation is noticing like if you're being followed or
The hidden key, right?
it's the hidden key. It's probably like even patting someone down, like trying to find hidden objects on someone.
Yeah. I think revolution wise is a good skill to have open though,
Okay.
especially if this is going where we think it's going.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you'd like to open revolution wise.
I would. I'd like to open.
Would you like to prefix revolution wise with anything? Like,
What do you mean?
it could be bloody revolution wise.
I don't know. I don't know that. Like how specific are wises?
It kind of depends. Revolution wise is probably more useful than bloody revolution wise.
I mean, my skills tend towards their extortion and interrogation and firearms and sword.
And stealthy.
Not extortion wise, excuse me. Revolution dash wise. I'm assuming this is perception, or
Yes.
would this be power?
All wises are perception.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that against whatever you say.
It's probably... This is probably very challenging, actually. I don't know how much information you actually have on the situation
This
at hand that would let you figure out what's going on.
I mean, all I know is that one of the heir,
Mhm.
the dwarven heir, has been kidnapped
Yep.
for ransom.
Mhm.
And I have that note.
Actually, yeah. Let's. What pieces have you put together?
Okay. Like I know that the sixth in line is particularly guileless, very open book sort. I know that the one that has been kidnapped was sort of shiftless, like he wasn't doing anything proactive in ruling. He just kind of like laid around and drank.
And
in
fucked.
his person, right? Engaged in pleasures of the carnal pleasure, both vino and whatever the word for wine life is. That's like that. Vivo. Yeah, so like not what I would consider an active participant in ruling or being groomed for rule, just a shiftless layabout.
Mhm.
What is this? And they were kidnapped by someone
Yep.
who wanted the letter to be found. So like,
And wasn't opposed to you faking some kind of note for them.
right.
Okay.
Well, noticed it and didn't immediately alert the cops.
Right.
Right, which I mean is good, right?
This doesn't seem especially difficult then. So let's just throw an ob of 2 and give you a chance of success. Okay.
If I was gray already in Revolution Wise, perhaps.
Oh man, the Grey Wise's character out of the gate? That would be so gross.
So I'm not able to put it together, and I say something like, yeah, I take out the note that I found. I was like, I trust this was not your doing, of course, not directly, but one of your people left this.
Oh, what was that ransom note again? Oh, I've forgotten what I wrote on
It's
there.
like, bring this money to
Right, yeah,
this
it was
place.
Okay. So it was ransom.
Or else, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned something about how like she must be desperate to need money in these trying times, I imagine.
Right, like a missed guess, or like
Well, and like it's a little insulting. Is part of like what I'm getting out of this. And so yeah, she's like, well, oh bless your heart. Right?
Southern.
Yeah. It's oh bless your heart. No, child, and like motions to one of her, like there's a servant in the room and motions for them to like close the door, and they head outside, stand outside, like just right next to the door, shutting it behind them. Like, no, but you're thinking. You're not coming to the right conclusions, but you're thinking, and that's an improvement over past performance, shall we say. And like,
I think you'll find history is apt to repeating itself.
and as she says that, she sort of just like crosses her arms on her desk, And you notice she has a pistol just in one of her hands. Not like hand on the trigger or anything, but
Right.
just holding it by sort of like the receiver portion.
Good game.
Receiver portion. But yeah, sets a gun down. And honestly, like, it looks like the sort of thing that she's just happy to have on hand. She says, but the ransom isn't why. The ransom's the distraction. That's also not why you're here. Did you?
Well, I'm here, and I have not drawn my gun, so I'm clearly here to talk.
Oh, this story. This is comforting. I didn't mean this as a threat, and she'll actually like open one of the drawers in her desk and just tuck it away. I kind of really hope you kill this person now, just to like continue scratching off NPCs that I had plans for.
Hey, Cartwright is still alive.
That's true.
I mean, you have to put up at least 2 kills tonight to get back on pace.
And yeah, she sort of looks across the room and she's, no, I need to know why you and your, just like waves her hand and places the word, would kill my niece.
Oh, I'm sure that. Well, I know this person's name. So, that's ghastly, unfortunate events. I am shocked that you thought that I could have had an active hand in the poisoning of an innocent of the court. Me with my,
Or of innocence.
or literal, like, oh no, this. You can see that I'm more likely to shoot a person that vexes me than poison them. These are all lies. I don't know if you want me to roll for falsehood
Yes.
here, if they already know.
Well, and I mean, you are more likely to shoot someone statistically, but yeah, let's do falsehood and see if you can convince her of your innocence.
I don't know if that actually helps me here, unfortunately.
She has a 6 will, and I believe falsehood is against the victim's will.
Sounds correct.
Man, there's some really good skill names in this game. Oh, I did have falsehood flagged. Yeah.
And
Add an advantage.
do-
Your Aura of Innocence actually helps you here, too. I think it
Right.
adds 2 dice.
I think that's what that whole point I took that for this exact moment.
What do you want on success? Do you want her to believe you're innocent, or do you want her to believe that, like...
Well, I mean, if she has, it depends on what she's got, right? If she's got some material proof,
I don't think she's material proof, but she's got, like, records of you and the Magnus and Indiso meeting. And I think part of it is, like, I don't know that you're going to convince her of innocence so much as, like, you aren't calling the shots, you're the trigger man at this point, you're the button person.
or like they wouldn't be able to prove it.
Yeah.
Like the sort of thing where, okay, I don't have concrete evidence, so no one's going to believe me,
Yeah.
even if it's true. Like, like we've seen in a million mob movies and and hard-boiled noir detective shows that end with the dame leaving.
Yeah.
So what's a call on? Is that 1 modifier or 2?
I think you get 2 dice for it. Let me double check.
I think it's just 1, but I will check real quick. It's a very good chance I'm wrong.
Of holiness, malevolence.
Call-ons. Rerolls or break ties. Sorry, it's not even a bonus.
Oh, no. So it's not a bonus, but you can reroll every failed die once per session. So you keep your successes and reroll your failures.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Which, that's probably better than 2 extra dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you a much better chance of like getting that difficult roll in without biffing it. Yeah.
There's nothing really else for me to like merge in here for this role, right? Like,
You might have some applicable forks. I mean, you mentioned you'd rather shoot someone.
Also, Mike, remember, if you keep your die total low, you get that difficult success that then raises falsehood later.
no, I still need 2 routine falsehoods. So like,
Yeah, but you can get those on like the groom in the galley. Like, you got to find people. You got to find smart people to lie to, or like perceptive people to lie to get that difficult success. There's only that difficult roll. There's only so
Gotcha.
many targets for this.
Right now, you're on track for challenging. Because her will is 6.
and I only have 4 dice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not that I have to succeed; I just have to roll against it.
Yeah, you get the experience functionally for making the roll.
Can I have
Take the L.
one bonus for the truthiness about I'd rather shoot someone as I have shot someone?
I mean, it's a fork. You can fork in guns.
So that's 1 modifier.
Yep.
Okay, 1 modifier, 0 Artha. Base obstacle 6, you said?
Yes.
All right, challenging. Oh, well, that's not going to be any chance of that. Okay. So no sixes, right?
Would you like to spend your Aura of Innocence call-on trait?
Yeah. So wait, how is there 2 successes there? Oh, because the 1 modifier is an automatic success.
Well, in 4 and 5. It's not
the
the one.
4
The 1 modifier is an extra die. You
Okay.
succeed on 4+.
So I get to re-roll 3, right?
Yes.
And the only way this succeeds if one of them is a 6 that also succeeds. Which was, but 2 did not. So 4 successes out of 6, which is still a failure.
And if you
But
want to,
marks that challenging.
yeah. And if you want to spend fate, then you can re-roll that 6, and it explodes at this point. So it's not likely. Like, you'd need to roll another 6, and then have 50% chance on that.
I have 5 fate. I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Take a shot. Yeah, you take that shot.
I mean, that was closer.
Yeah.
1,
So
2,
that's
3, 4, 5.
5 successes on 4 dice with 1 fork.
Yeah.
So, Mike, make sure you write down, you record that fate next to the skill too.
I put it in there.
I think Andrew did.
Nice. Cool.
It's how you gray shade lying to people.
Get really good at the lying.
Well, how many of those do I need for each?
Oh god, it's a bunch.
It's like 15, 6, and 1 or something like that.
Yeah.
They're huge numbers.
Okay.
It's not a thing. This is a campaign game.
Right.
Yeah. Burning Wheel is meant to be played over a fairly long arc. If
All right,
one of
well-
us gray shades a skill by the end of this, I will be very impressed and super happy about it. So,
I took a shot and I missed.
Yeah. And she's just... I would appreciate it if you would do me the honor of not lying to my face.
Behind your back it is then.
say,
And
I'll just stand over here.
And, like, you get the Anna approves of this thing message, right? Like, she likes the wordplay, right?
Down to clown. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, at least you have spirit, dear. That's why I didn't have my man kill you.
That would have been interesting.
I imagine it would have been. That's also why I didn't have him kill you. I know you're no slouch when it comes to these things. But I need to know.
So enough of the foreplay. What is the?
Yeah, I need to know. Was it your hand that ended at Lancia Smith? And she spits as she says the name.
Which one's Alantia Smith? I lose
The
track.
tax collector you shot in the back of the head.
I know. I was
Okay.
right. If I can't be, if my R of innocence won't go up, then I'll false it another direction.
Okay.
Right? Yes, I believe so. It's revolutions take time and effort and blood. The streets will run with it, like wine casks spilled in the street.
We get the snap
Zach.
cut to Indiso with the single tear. Good.
Also, Tale of Two Cities.
Yeah. Well, again, I do appreciate your candor. Um, and what would you say your next step is?
Well, frankly, I'm going to insert myself into the noble house, find myself into the position that I need to get the information that I need to overthrow the illegitimate government, probably kill most of them on my way out, and then lead my father's troops in to reclaim the area.
And like the slow smile, like just spreads on her face. And that cart swallop boy, he's your way in.
Big fish need little bait. I'm not a fisher, me myself personally, nor is Lady Margareta Agnesa Luca Pasqualina Bianca di Fabri, although she may have seen someone fish before. So I guess the better thing would be little lies beget big lies, but you have to start with little ones first. Little lies undermine big truths. That feels more tasty.
Nice.
Or I quote Liliana.
Yeah. And what would you do with, say, the eldest son of this house? If you had him in your possession.
I mean, the most direct route is torture him for the information that I need. Go get the information. Preferably, I mean, I don't know that Margareta has the ability to, torture him from the information I need, to secure the information. And if I had infinite resources, secure perhaps a witch to change their personality just a bit to help me overthrow him from within. But I don't know where I'd find such a person. Look to the camera.
Yeah. You see her eyes like go a little wide with that last bit, and we're not. Murder is one thing. Magic is something wholly other. Or unholy other.
I don't believe that any tool in your arsenal can be discounted for the proper noble goals.
Like the stink on the word noble there. Well, Lady de Fabry, you've given me some things to think about. And I believe I have something I need of you. And Andrew has no idea what that is yet.
Okay.
Because I don't
Also,
know that... Yep.
Margareta marks this location on her map.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how to get back here.
No, I know. I just want to make like the foreshadowing for you now know how to fast travel this location.
Mm-hmm.
As in, no, I'm more than happy to play with you, play nicely, and not in character, but yes. And if I don't get what I want, then I'm more than happy to come back here and find it.
Yeah.
Perhaps failing a lot of the way.
I mean, revolution-wise can become bloody revolution-wise so easily.
All right, smash cut, I guess, because that's only a cut that I know how, to Indiso yelling at his goats. Or do we one talk of revolution for another? Is Magnus buying the witch's land? I don't know. Who's got a thing? Or I'm sorry, Andrew's running this shit, not me.
No, I mean...
I love the idea that Magnus is turning the woods outside into the Pine Barrens of New Jersey and just throwing up developments around the witch just to mess with her. Love it.
I mean, does Magnus even have a connection to the witch?
No.
No,
Yeah,
not
besides,
yet.
it was mentioned.
Yeah.
In his presence. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, don't we have a thing to resolve with Magnus? And...
Oh yeah, we have the whole dual wits thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Magnus and Eladrian Woodsorrow. Which I'm still proud at how elfy bullshit that name is.
That is the height of elfy bullshit. Yes,
It is a many-layered cake full of elfy bullshit delights.
It could potentially use another like 4 syllables somehow.
It needs like an apostrophe and 17 Y's and some additional word, but
yeah,
Wait, I've got it. Do Erden.
nailed it.
there goes our
podcast. We'll never do better than this. Boom.
Watsy's never going to sponsor us now.
Oh god, did I turn off my mic?
Yeah, mostly.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, for the drop.
No, for the smash. Yeah. Okay.
So I mean,
I
yeah.
think
Do we want to do the Magnus thing, or do we want to see what Andiso's up to? I do very little prep for this. A lot of this is just reactionary stuff.
I'm fully ready to lose a debate.
Okay.
Should be fun.
It's a debate. It's a duel of wits.
Duel of Wits.
All right. So I've dragged us over to a different sheet.
Super cool.
If we want to get straight into this, I think we should do a bit of like the scene first.
Well, we did. We had a bit of the scene first.
Fair.
Yeah, but let's reset it up though. Like let's.
Well, and I'm picturing like it's a crowd. Like it's not just the two of you yelling at each other. Like it's the two of you making arguments in front of, like probably like a half dozen other merchants. That's what I'm imagining. I'm not sure what you had in your mind.
If we reconvened, I didn't know if we were going to cut back in time to right when this was happening,
Sure.
or if maybe this is in front of a meeting of people we both see as prospective, founders of this merchants guild.
That's sort of what I had in my mind.
That raises the stakes. So sure, that's fine.
So I've dragged us over to a sheet. I'm just putting together sort of a little series of guidelines. Oh wait, stop it. Doop. Up to the midline. And like there.
So Adam, I don't know if you saw. I prepared some notes.
I didn't actually look at your notes now, but I read through the thing and it seemed
The PDF.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a series of tests. We start out with a statement of purpose. We roll some dice to determine functionally the hit points of our argument. And then we punch each other's argument in the face with words until one argument falls down. Or both arguments fall down. Which that's just... I'm trying to figure out what, like, that both arguments are at 0, and it's so no one gets what they want, and it's like, cool, we're just a council of 7 people ruling this guild of businesses.
My favorite part about that though is that there's a specific cutout in the rules for at this point, if you both hit 0, you can either compromise or you can stab them.
Yep.
But then you lose.
Yep.
Right? It's like you lost the argument, but you can stab them. It's great.
But everyone will just think you're a sore loser and an asshole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone will hate you. Although you are rich enough to probably get away with it if we're being real.
So if you go to the tables, which is one of the icons sort of up at the top, I think it's your 4th. There should be a deck called Duel of Wits. You click show and it pops up some little cards in the bottom right.
Yeah.
And then you can hit choose, and then she'll bring up a table of the cards. And then you can drag them there. And we'll just like lay out 3 of them.
How do you flip them?
So you right click and you can hit flip card.
I like this one. I want to run screaming just the start.
It's like your name is too intimidating for me.
Yeah.
I must be gone.
So let's start by setting the scene and getting a little warmed up. But I'm imagining Eladrian or you have called this meeting. a number of sort of local citizens have been arrayed. I imagine Vigo's there as well, because he's sort of rising through the ranks to eventually become a citizen, but I don't know if he has speaking rights or not.
No, I probably have him here as like, a personal attendant or something, because it seems like this lady always has.
Yeah. Oh, she has
people around
toadies. Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine Magnus brought him as, carry a briefcase and
Hype man.
yeah.
Fuck her up, Magnus.
What's up?
God.
He's wearing a sundial around his neck.
That would be such a pain in the ass.
It'd be incredibly dangerous. Incredibly dangerous. We've lost 3 hype men this year. We gotta stop. Especially taking them places there's alcohol. This is not working.
And it's like, I think honestly, like, one of you rented out a courtroom sort of thing for this. Like, it's fancy digs. I'm imagining a bunch of wood paneling, sort of the Gregarian style, like people facing each other as opposed to everybody facing forward.
Or it's the old guild hall.
Oh,
A lot of use.
yeah. But it's being cleaned up and like,
Yeah.
So are you like, did somebody, like, is the very beginning of the scene like 2 servants like pulling the cloth off the benches and like the dust scattering?
yeah,
This is like the opening to Phantom of the Opera.
yeah. We get the time lapse of the hall being cleaned.
Yeah.
And there's a voiceover of like one of you going over their speech, and awesome. All right. So I'm trying to think what she gets if she wins. So yeah, someone gavels in a thing. There's an allegedly neutral speaker who's being appointed to oversee this like preliminary session of the local merchants guild. Everyone will come to order, and then so first thing on the agenda is find a new executive officer. And yeah, Eladrian stands up and says, "I'm thank you for thank you all for coming. Your presence here is greatly appreciated. I understand that some of you may not have been here for the dissolution, and I hold no ill respect for those too young in seasons to remember the way things were before. But it seems only reasonable to me that someone who was there for the rise and fall of the previous iteration of this guild be in charge of it, because it's only with the steady hand of wisdom and experience that this guild could flourish again." And like, she's 100 years older than everybody else in this room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Magnus will stand up and say something to the effect of, thank you all for coming here as well. I've put forth my own name for executive of this enterprise. Clearly, with all due respect to those who were here for the last guild, clearly the management then did not have what it takes to hold things together, and these times are only more volatile and more dangerous than days of yore, whatever.
That's good, because it's like a kind of shitty way to refer to it.
Yeah. What we need now is swift, decisive action. We can't be any moment now. I don't know if we have any intelligence about the army. I'm sure the whatever. I can't. What was it Silver Valley? What was the other guys?
Silverhearth.
Silverheart. Any day now, the martial arm of the Silverhearts could be here, closing down all our shops. Taking from us what they will. We must move now, or else Thundering Valley will be no more. And very pointedly calling it Thundering Valley too.
Yeah. Awesome. You probably can't type things, can you? Like, you can't add text to Roll20.
I don't think so.
Okay. So your argument is...
I do. Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So if you want to write out just like Magnus and colon, then your statement. So Eladrin is, I'm the one with the wisdom and experience to lead.
What did I say?
Wisdom. That wisdom didn't work so well the last time.
Yeah.
I can bring the thunder. I can bring.
Bring the thunder.
Hold on. Sorry.
No worries. Goodbye, tiny humans.
Yes.
Velvet Thunder.
Magnus is wearing his best velvet suit.
I'm
Now
gonna.
imagine, like you're a capitalist but also prince.
Okay. I just shifted you up so then we can do.
Sure.
And then just. So when we go to do the cards, so we do them in order. It goes 1, 2, 3. If that makes sense. Okay. Hi, Zach. So next we have to determine bodies of argument, which is will, and then we roll a skill to see what we get. Read the terms, walking away, blah blah blah. What is the skill?
It's,
go ahead.
yeah, I guess it's whatever skill you feel like you're approaching the argument with, or the duel with.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think for Magnus's purpose, he sees this as brokering another deal, so this is haggling.
Okay. Then I suppose she will do the same. So she...
Yeah, I have like 2 skills that I'm going to be leaning really heavily on because I don't have anything else needed for this duel of wits.
I mean, that's... I don't know that she's much better off in that department. Okay. So I'm going to roll 5 dice. 5d6 greater than 4. Beep.
There's no base obstacle for this, right? Just
No.
zero.
Yeah, it's just against each other.
Hey.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, hey.
So her body of argument is 8 of 8 right now. 8 of 8 argument HP.
Can you? Yeah.
What's your will? 4? Okay.
Only 4.
She's got a slight edge.
But I want to argue for a trait because I don't have a book, so I don't know if it automatically qualifies, but there
Okay.
is the optional rule that I want to argue for.
Mhm.
So one of the one trait that I picked out for Magnus that wasn't preordained was the trait inscrutable.
Okay.
So I really want that to play that he's hard to read in these kind of situations.
Sure. Yeah. You'll get an extra point for that. She has a hard time predicting what you're going to say, so you're able to catch her a little more off guard.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least in theory.
In theory. We'll see in practice.
Sure. So roll another d6 and let's see if that gets you anywhere.
Is it a dice or is oh,
It's
it is
a roll.
just 1d6.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, it's you are inscrutable, but she has Some,
Much time to skirt.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So we pick out cards from the Duel. Yours go above the line, mine will go below. And then we make argument at each other. I'm trying to think of how I've been playing her to this point, and this feels true.
I'm hoping I've read her right too, so we'll see.
Okay. Because yeah, there are, so for those of you playing the home game, because Adam actually seems to have read these rules rather comprehensively. For those of you playing the home game, there's a lot of actions that just null the other person's action. You can hard parry someone's point if you play your cards right. And it's not going to let me select both of these. All right. So let's flip our first cards on 3. 1, 2, 3. Point. Rebuttal. The drama. All right. Let's actually zoom in a little here, too. So, before your opponent rolls, divide your dice between attack and defense. And for this, it looks like you have a certain set of skills that you can use here. I don't know if she's got... She probably has persuasion, actually. But yeah, she's going to commence arguing that... if it please those assembled, if it please the citizens assembled, I appreciate the youth and candor that Meister Luciano would bring to this endeavor, and I absolutely appreciate the value of a fresh perspective. However, what we need in these times is a steady hand and someone who has seen worse times than those we currently live in. And you can feel free to interject in that.
It's so you get to make your whole point, and then I do the rebuttal.
Okay.
So it's. I don't know how to make it a more interesting rebuttal than just basically going over what he said before. It's so I got all kinds of weird noises in my house.
No worries.
It might be reassuring to look back and think that you've gone through worse times and that you know how to handle them based on that. But I assure you that the city has seen nothing like the threat is going through right today. This is not something that a slow, placid response will reward with success. Something like that. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just reading point. You're going to be rolling just your dueling skill.
Yes.
Is the dueling skill always going to be haggle, since that's what we set it up with?
No. In this case, it's going to be persuasion for her, and for you, it'll probably be the same.
Yeah,
because it'll list what it says you can use at the top.
Weird.
Yeah, if you look at the card that you flipped,
Yeah,
right?
You probably have to zoom in.
I can't even see. Yeah, no, yeah. So it's going to be persuasion. I see. Okay, I have the other PDF that you sent, which has the cards. I see. So yeah, you have point. You're using persuasion. I'm using persuasion, but I can also fork.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which I'm going to try to desperately do because.
So how are you going to split up your dice?
Well, I need to see how many dice I have first.
Okay.
So I'm going to do my.
Yep.
So yeah, first I need to build my pool, then I'll split.
Okay. She's going to have, I think it's 4 persuasion. I don't know if she has any forks at this point.
I don't think point can fork. Because the rebuttal specifically says that you can fork in.
Okay.
Where'd it go? Oh no, that was the sample.
Yeah, I think you're just testing skills.
Yeah, I think there's
No, I know.
restrictions.
I mean, the sample literally has forking in it
Oh, okay.
for rebuttal. I'm trying to read again and make sure I'm not making things up. But yeah, see, I can just. I don't know. You guys are using the books, or you're using the PDF you send.
I'm looking at the
through the book right now.
PDF.
Yeah. So in the PDF that has this sample that the prince is making a point, they're making a rebuttal before he rolls. I divide my base 5 oratory plus my adequate fork into 2 pools.
Mhm.
So in the PDF, it does belabor the point that you can fork
Yep.
for rebuttal at least.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain you can fork into just about anything. They're all skill rolls.
Yeah, the only one that's not is the obfuscate, probably, since it's not a skill roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously persuasion for my base roll. I think we covered what crowdwise does again, but does it similar to reading the crowd?
You are wise about crowds, so if you're addressing the crowd of merchants here, then absolutely.
Okay, so I will fork in crowdwise.
You get 1 extra die for doing role playing, which, I mean, if we were doing a Duel of Wits without role playing, I don't know why we'd be. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I can just use merchant wise since we're talking to merchants. Yep. Okay.
She's going to be.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Maybe the last thing I could argue is something with observation, just keeping an eye on how my arguments are playing to the crowd.
I think that's perception. Observation is specifically noticing
I know
hidden stuff. But yeah, you tried.
Okay, so I'll just go with those 2 forks for now. Then.
Okay.
So I have base 4 plus 2.
Okay.
We'll just split it even. We'll go 3 and 3.
Okay. She's going to be rolling 4 dice to attack. So if you want to let me know what what your defense is.
Okay, so it's going to be. I can just roll 3d6 twice. I don't feel like.
Yep.
So this is going to be for the defense.
Okay.
0.
Yes.
An attack, which is 1. So I got an attack. At least.
Yep. Yeah, you tagged her. She got 1 success against you, so you both lose 1 argument HP.
Dunk, dunk.
All right.
Not a ideal start. I was really hoping for a success.
Yeah, I mean, blocking her there would have been all right. Ready to move on?
Yes.
Are the merchants like in the background like golf clapping, or are they?
I think at this point, yeah, they're considering things. At least 3 people are like counting the stacks of coins, like dropping them, and they make that really pleasing ting 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 noise. Vigo looks like concerned but rapt. Definitely very interested in what's going on. And a few of her toadies are kind of looking like aghast, like you'd even suggest that she's not the only ideal candidate for this job.
This is where we're going to go big here.
Okay.
It was her turn. She was the most qualified.
Yeah. All right. So on 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
I assumed you would go to rebuttal.
So vulnerable to point. What does that mean? Does that cancel your feint, or is it just extra dice?
So vulnerable means that you are getting wrecked by. It means that they are not rolling a versus test against you.
Okay. Feint only works against rebuttal or obfuscate.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So I basically do nothing this round.
Oh.
Yeah, you just get pointed at real hard.
Yep.
Nippon.
That just snapped me back to my judo days. So yeah, what's your feint? What's the dummy point that you make that she just skips right around?
Just blows through like it's a bag of leaves, man. Just.
I think I try to. I'm guessing I'm trying to lead her towards something that doesn't really matter. Maybe. I would say something tied in with like the death of the tax collector.
Okay.
Death of the tax collector.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see how it was like a bungled method or way of reducing the taxes on the merchant class.
Okay. Yeah, and that's ignore my young foolish. See how a lack of experience leads one down false paths. What I bring you, my collected friends, is nothing other than... She's already made this point, so she has to make a different point. I will not... There we go. I will not lose sight of the objectives of the goals of reducing our taxes and not being shaken by the day-to-day insecurities that this occupation has brought us. It will be my sole duty to reduce the tax burden that we face and create a more equitable system for us so that we may each grow our individual wealth. I like how Zach is having a stroke.
I'm over here like, these fuckers are the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
And I just want somebody to burn the building down.
Okay.
I really want that right now.
So this again is persuasion. Actually, she was talking to a crowd there. This might be oratory.
Yeah, it could go either way.
Which I don't know that she would have. She's functioning the evil version of Magnus.
I definitely don't have oratory.
Right.
Well, the question, I guess, is did she actually run... Has she done this before?
No.
Okay. Well, there you go. She's not... If she's actually like a former leader of this thing, then she probably has oratory. If she's not, then she doesn't.
That's fair. I think she was, the last time this thing existed, what Magnus is today. So she's going to be rolling 5d6, but her successes only count as half, rounded down, for oratory. So she get one success against you. So she tagged you again.
Well, Ippon,
Getting
literally.
pinged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's just, tapping to deal 1 damage.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Death by 1,000 cutting remarks.
All right, on 3 again?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Dismiss.
Yeah. Oh God, she decided she's going for it.
That's really ballsy of her.
Mm-hmm.
That's the haymaker.
Yep. She's had enough of these young whippersnappers not listening to her. As point, but +2 die to your roll. If you win against obfuscate, count all successes instead of margin of success. Hesitate during your next volley in this duel. And it's standard versus point, but I think her successes count first. So if she can hit you for 5, that's game. Let me double check how that works, because I believe that's how that works. Dismiss. Effect scripting and dismiss adds 2 dice. As the character loudly declares that their opponent knows absolutely nothing about the topic at hand, and furthermore, he's a fool and a dullard and shouldn't be listened to any further. Dismiss successes that are not rebutted or subtracted directly. Okay. So, yeah, she's going to make... Let's have you start, and then she'll butt in and be all shitty at you.
Yeah, Magnus will probably start trying to, circle the wagons. Like, I assure you that I am, a viable candidate for leading this body of merchants. You have all seen the great lengths and efforts that I've gone to deny the Silverhearth's grasp on our property and land, and how I've done my best to prop up those that are future stars of this realm. And he might be going on like a little more self-congratulatory speech for a little bit more than that. If
Sure. I think Vigo's presence helps you for this, so that'll be an extra die.
excellent.
And as she sort of lets you finish, waits for like that pause as you're just again. The young Meister Luciano bloviates about the successes of others as though they were his own, and conflates temporary and minor victories as though they were things worthy of merit and applause. I will not be satisfied with incremental change, with tiny steps, and will only rest when the sanctity of our commerce is secured from these northern aggressors. So she's going to roll 66. Oh,
Jesus! Wait, what skill is she using though?
it's persuasion.
That's not a valid dismiss.
Oh shit.
You have to use oratory, rhetoric, intimidation, or interrogation.
Okay.
I will rule lawyer this thing
Yep.
at it as much as I can.
Yep. Okay. I'll roll one more d6, so it'll be oratory, and then it'll count as half.
I mean, that rule luring feels exactly the spirit of this sort of thing, though.
Yep. Okay. So she has 2 successes against you,
Okay.
and she just like sputters uselessly for the next action.
Okay. So my point still goes off though,
Mhm.
right? So I am going to use persuade, because I try to
Yep.
persuade her. And then I'm just going to fork the same thing. If we're going to fork, then I'll fork the same things last time that she wises.
And you get the extra die for role playing, and you get the extra die for Vigo.
Okay. Zero. Seriously, dice?
Do you want to burn a fate for the reroll of 6?
How much? I have fate.
You have a bunch
Sure.
of fate.
Yeah,
With all
I
those
need
ones,
some
do you want to
extra.
reburn the dice?
I mean,
Alright.
every point of body of argument here matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, since you guys are going neck and neck so far.
Oh,
for sure.
roll it
Does
again.
that explode again?
Roll
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
Ah,
I was
I
like,
guess,
is it gonna happen? Is
Right.
it happening?
no. So that's 3.
So she goes down to 4,
Okay.
and she just stands there, like it, just stunned next round. All right, so I'm gonna nuke my 3 cards. We each pick another 3.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Boom.
I was prepared for my first round, but not the second round.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you know she has to do nothing next round.
Yeah, I know the first round.
Yeah.
The first action.
Yep. Yeah, the first action of the next round. The first volley,
Yeah.
because it's
The first
using the
one.
fight. This is exactly how fights work, but with differently named cards.
Also, more death at the end, probably.
In fight?
I mean, you can still run away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wait,
you
at the end of a fight, can you just talk? Like at the end of a talk, you can fight?
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be like, no, I'm good.
Well, and so one of the things that I actually really appreciate about fight is I only get to kill player characters if player characters were trying to kill NPCs. It's only a fight to the death if y'all opt in. Or if you do something stupid and, like, in a fight, you have to opt in to murder. If you walk into a bunch of guards and they're like, stop or we'll stab you to death, then they're cool to just stab you to death.
I don't like this. I don't like
Well,
this
you
at
opted
all.
in by not stopping in that case, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's how it is.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point.
They set the parameters. You chose to participate, and you got stabbed to death, like you do.
Mm-hmm. Walk shit, get stabbed.
Walk mad, get stabbed.
All right. Are we good?
Yep.
3.
No, we're not good at all. But we're
Okay.
going.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
So
Hit me.
yes, it's sad when we see our venerated predecessors resort to such base accusations in the times like this. What we need is not this sort of divisive talk, but clearly a unified merchant front, a unified merchant class. And if you want to look at this PowerPoint presentation I have here, it'll go through the finances of the kingdom and how I think that we can very clearly dominate in a economic warfare with the Silver Hearth.
I mean, the only appropriate response to PowerPoint is to stand and drool.
You.
Yep.
I want to take you to a trade war. Want to take you to a trade war. And so on and so forth. Yeah, she stands and drools. She is stunned. She cannot believe that anybody is still listening to you. You upstart, you Philistine. So yeah, let's see them bones.
So I'm going to argue for the same things, but this time I want to also fork in accounting. For
Okay.
The lovely PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, well, yeah, and saying, like, these are line items that I'll figure out and knock down. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to spend, like, Persona on this or anything similar?
No.
You have 2 Persona points. Like, that's...
I do.
And it's an extra die. I'm just... She's
Bear in
also
mind.
got you below half, which means it's going to be a major concession.
So two things to keep in mind. One, the persona points are how you eventually wind up gratiating skills, right? Those are valuable for that reason. But if you actually do wind up head of this guild, this might not be a bad skill to have gratiated. Also,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So yeah, we'll blow a Persona point on this and get an extra dice.
Yeah. So you're at 1 for roleplay, 1 for Persona, and then you had 3 forks?
Yes.
Cool.
This is where I'm gonna get like 1 success.
I mean, if it's a 6, you can spend Fate on it too, and...
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's it.
I would have gone for the dismiss myself, but you got it anyway.
Hey, Paul.
I didn't want to have. I didn't have a skill, so it would have success.
Oh, okay.
But you could have opened
dismiss
oratory.
Dismiss is a shorter list, isn't it?
Yes.
Did you mark all
that's
those
how
tests?
They're all against routine, right? Because it's 0 base.
One of them would have been... The versus test would have been... Because you were setting a versus test, so that would have been against 1, so that's probably still routine, actually. You had 3 dice on 1.
Yeah, that's still routine. So I filled up the 4 routine that I need.
Okay. So yeah, while she's standing and drooling, you have won over the crowd. I really thought that dismiss was going to get you.
Yeah, it would have been bad if I wouldn't have been halved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Resolve.
want to see what the rest of your Volleys would have been.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can finish off
I
the
wanted-
showmanship.
Curious how you went.
Beep. Beep.
Yes, I did get that right. Yeah, you moved for another dismiss. I didn't think about that. Wait, didn't I? Was rebuttal good against dismiss?
I think it's like as
Yeah.
point functionally.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I would have could have caused you to hesitate with the rebuttal. Feint against
Yeah.
versus rebuttal.
Yep.
Yeah, because rebuttal forces a versus test against.
Well, and rebuttal into feint is miss.
Oh yeah, yeah. Rebuttal, like feint, you just straight dodge the rebuttal.
Yeah. It's because you set up some point, they refute it, and then you're like, yes, but my actual argument.
Uh-huh.
It's actually literally verbal judo. I really like the theatrical aspect of like the 1, 2, 3 flip the cards. I think that's really cool, and like the rock paper scissorsy thing. So for the second round of volleys, I was like, does she know sorcery? Because cast a spell is an option. So you reduced her body of argument to 0, which means she is going to exactly 0. She is going to do a steel test. And you just get to style on her for X units of time.
It was all in the PowerPoint presentation.
I think she's actually a pretty steely lady. Okay. So you get 2 heartbeats of actions while she stands there.
This is just like a prolonged stand and drool then.
Yes. No, that's exactly,
Yeah,
what
exactly
it is.
what it is. Yeah.
She stands
Call
and
for her
drools for
head.
2 more actions.
Yeah.
Call for her ouster. Demand that she never be allowed to put pen to put quill to paper again for her failures of the community. Then shoot her in the face.
I just argue for a unified front, so I think Magnus is going to go like the magnanimous route, where because this is obviously leading into large concessions, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a decent sized concession coming up here.
So yeah, he might extend to the olive branch. Even though we have this bold new direction we're taking, we will still need the wisdom of our forebearers to ensure that we can do this in a.
At this point, are you just practicing
Efficient.
oratory?
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think there's like a failure here, but if you want to like open oratory and just mark a test in it as you bloviate at a crowd.
Yeah. I haven't opened anything, so that's probably a good idea to do that.
As they.
Your verbal victory lap.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's literally what this is. Duel of Wits resolutions. Agnes will. Eladrian will. And this is session 4. All right. So, you get to be the executive officer. Let's check the text here, though. If reduced below half or to just a few dice, major concessions are in order.
I imagine like second in command is someone from the old guard.
Yeah, she's probably going to get that position.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a ceremonial position. She's going to have some amount of power, but I think she appreciates the fact that you have the instincts and the like cutthroatiness to actually lead this pack of vipers. So Magnus will, do we say like instate Eladrian as vice XO? In a role with some amount of formal power. Ladrian will respect and support Magnus. It's the XO of the Merchants Guild to the best of her abilities. That sound fair?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Because, yeah, these are binding-ish is probably the term I'd use.
Yeah.
It's expected that you respect sort of the spirit of them and not necessarily just the letter. But also, if she starts cramping your style, you can have her murdered. But you'll just, like, you've instated her. She has some amount of formal power, and then she gets the axe.
Oh. So I can have someone murdered for not being properly appointed to me. And now Adam can have someone murdered for being not properly kowtowing to him. De La Vino and Diso, we got to get somebody. You got to get you to legally murder people for dissing your wine or something.
Okay, so number one, I'm the opposite of that. I am extremely respectful of my betters, and I will never be murdered for such reasons. But two, I already murdered somebody, so I feel like
No, but like you have to get it so that
nailed it.
you get to have people murdered if they diss your wine.
I don't think that that's really the direction we're going. I don't know.
I'll bring it back to the
conversion.
witch. I'll bring it back to the witch. It's fine. We'll just do another checkup.
So,
It's gonna be more like forced conversion via enchanted wine.
I was gonna say like I don't know what direction Indiso's going in, but being the person who orders murders doesn't seem like that direction.
I mean,
Like,
you're already a religious zealot or approaching that way.
I'm a religious zealot that is basing his religion around juice. I am like
Yeah.
3/4 of the way to Jim Jones already.
There you go. There you go.
I feel like I don't really super want to lean into that, for being real.
Okay.
All right, so we've been going for about an hour and a half. I think we'll take a 5-minute break here. I need to drink water. Y'all should drink water.
Hydration is important.
Y'all also out in Twitch land and also YouTube land. But yeah, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere, except unless you want to, in which case, you do you.
We're not cops.
All right, later. All right, and we're back. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. Or joining us late if you're just joining us now, or skipping ahead to 90 minutes in on YouTube, at which point, welcome.
Hi.
Yeah.
You missed some stuff.
Precise restarting of stream.
Yeah, and if we had more time, we'd probably cut out the 5 minutes of dead air, but we don't, so shrug emoji. But we've just witnessed our first Duel of Wits, which was honestly a lot of fun. It's a lovely bit of pageantry, and I'm looking forward to more. Now
I want to make someone who just rap battles.
I mean, I just want to see Indiso in a Duel of Wits. That's all.
I've already started unlocking oratory. I'm deeply ill-suited for a Duel of Wits. With one possible, I will start with a very large
body,
most likely body of argument. But I'm just gonna be throwing air punches the whole time. So
I just want you to get in an argument with your there's a neighborhood vineyard, a neighboring vineyard, and you just the two of you going head to head about the wine or something for rights of the valley or
arguing methods.
and then Endiso drops the cast a spell action midway through because you're opening sorcery.
Yeah, but I can't use it unless trade vote coming up.
Right. I mean, probably not for another few sessions, but we'll see how people's characters are shaping up.
It's just going to give me enough time to get weird to unlock gifted. It'll be fine. All according to plan so far. All according to plan.
Translator's note: plan means keikaku. So
it's exactly how I expected Indiso to be shaping up as the game started. I totally had this idea that I would be this weird numerological conspiracy theorist with a brain parasite put there by a witch that makes me super respectful to people who may or may not be just studying sorcery and distillery at the same time to completely remake the winery that I took off somebody else. This is exactly where I expected to be.
I mean, it's the logical endpoint, really. It's a tale as old as time.
Perfect sense.
So do you have an idea for a scene in mind?
I mean, I just need to start putting stuff together, right? I need to get as much. I need to get a new vintage started. I need to get a distillery built, which means I need to consult with my new patron, whose name I can never remember off the top of my head. She's on here. Bella Fusilieri. Bella Fusilieri.
Flip back the image back to the other.
Oh, I didn't drag the players over. Boop.
I also probably at some point need to consult with the old lady again, just to touch base, tell her about the progress I'm making.
Sure.
And maybe I have her over and looking through the plans.
Okay. So do we want to do that scene where you've got her visiting?
Yes, and is Fusilieri there as well?
I mean, let's roll up some circles and see how either of these people feel about being at your beck and call.
Well, I've got the wizened one of the woods as a contact.
She's a relationship, so you can always find her. So I mean, she can be at your farm.
Okay, cool. So I will happily roll up Bella to see if I can get her here.
Cool.
Let me get to my stats.
I imagine she's available. It's just whether or not she's distracted is going to be the thing. I don't even think she hates you.
No, she seems to be not into. She seems to be super into the distillery idea, right? So I imagine that's probably a fairly easy way to get her.
Yeah.
So I have reputation 2.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So that's some D's.
That helps. Yeah, that's 2 extra dice on the circles roll.
Yep. I will not be spending any Artha. What is my obstacle for getting the busy Miss Fusilieri here onto my property?
Hey, I found it. Oh, and Circles is right next to Duel of Wits. So, it starts out, and I think it is... So she's a higher station than you.
Mm-hmm.
So we start with 1 die. She's a higher rank station or class, so that's plus 2 dice. And I think this is just unusual, so it's plus 1 more. So you're at 4 dice. 4 odd, rather.
Okay. Okay. Base obstacle 4.
You're rolling 6. You rolled resources.
No! Okay.
You are taxed.
I buy his way here.
Okay. Let's do this again. With the right stat this time.
I think it's the same dice. Oh no, you have tax on there, which doesn't help anything.
And base obstacles 4?
Yeah.
Nail it! Alright.
Good roll.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Getting those routine checks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's like around. I imagine Indisa's probably trying to entertain both of them at the same time.
Okay.
Right? And so, like, he's probably like doting on the mystic.
Sure.
And like fielding questions from Bella at the same time, or like being shown the like parchment equivalent of a PowerPoint presentation.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Bella's very confused about why you're doing like these inefficient things with your layout, but like she's being respectful. She's not saying like you shouldn't do these things. She's like trying to actually understand why is this so much space, and like why does it matter that the sunlight hits this window only when Jupiter's in retrograde, and like what do you mean you need to like properly align the motes of fire along this ley line?
Well, you see, the energies of the earth flow into the wine, and they flow into the cathedral that we're building for the wine, and we need them to flow in a specific direction to get the proper alignment of energies through the wine. And I'll sort of like look at the mystic and like, right, I'm doing this right.
I mean, do you want to roll something and
Sure.
see if you've
Let's do that. Let's do that thing. Symbology or sorcery are probably the two.
You tell me. Like, is your vineyard more symbological or sorcerological?
I think if we're talking about like the energies of things, that sounds sorcerical to me.
Okay.
So
it's a sort of clerical error.
Gravery and sort clerical.
Yeah.
It's a sort clerical gravery.
Yeah.
What's my obstacle for this?
That's a very good question. I think it's probably 3, which is higher than you can swing.
That's fine.
Let me see.
Fine. I don't need to succeed on things. It's fine.
You don't need to succeed on this. This is why you have the trained expert.
Exactly. I'm going to embarrass myself in front of the old man, and she's gonna like.
This is actually probably just a 2.
All right.
So that
I can theoretically do. All right. So yes, the ley line as it runs out of the vineyard runs down the valley.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important that we catch those motes of light to be magnified by its energies to better cast the radiance into the grapes and thus the wine.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm like, oops. So the mystic, is she like full on like old person Yoda mode, or is she like fairly spry? Like what's?
She's pretty spry, but like she knows how to milk it, but she's not right now.
Okay. Yeah, I would sort of be linked arm in arm with her, walking her up towards the
You got a 6. Do you want to burn a fate on that?
Oh, sure. Why not? I will burn a fate and try rolling that. Nope.
Okay. Yeah, wasn't
That's
to be.
all right. Sorry, let me mark that down. Fate 8.
Mhm.
And I imagine that like I'm imagining in my head Bella like running along behind with like an easel, like the flip.
Yep.
Or maybe she's got like people for that. I don't know how she rolls.
She wouldn't. Like she has enough money and like enough servants back at home that she could absolutely have people for that, but that's not a thing that she thinks of.
Okay, because I could give her an orc, right?
Yeah.
Like we have
Great.
orcs. One
That's
of
a
them
fun
could be doing it.
phrase.
Yes. Yes. So she, yeah. So as we're sort of, and she's like flipping the thing, and can't make heads or tails of like her distillery plans and the mechanization and things.
Mhm.
And so I was like, Wizened One, this is to be the place of sanctuary.
Well, so you flubbed the sorcery roll.
Yes. Yeah.
She
give it to me.
she just like stops and she's like, it's a good thing you're confident because you certainly aren't good at this. No, wait. I've got that backwards. That's a bad thing, and you're liable to get us all killed. You don't want it in alignment only. You don't want the sun lighting on it only when it's in retrograde. That is more likely to cause a fire than fire wine.
Ha! Well, that is a very good point.
And she's
And, like-
you there. Child, show me your parchment. And Bella's like, who the heck is this old lady? And like, sure. And she rotates like everything you've done just 45 degrees.
Do I have a name for her? Like, do I know her name? Does she have a name? Would she be recognizable as the mystic? Like, what is...
She definitely has a reputation. Probably like a decently sizable one. At least 2 dice, probably 3 of like province-wide. She is the spooky, crazy old lady what lives in the hills.
So, Bella, it is good that I can make your acquaintance. This is
I mean, the mystic is fine, and just like
Yeah.
child, just hold that steady, and like takes like charcoal or something, and just starts like scribbling all over these things, and like she has forgotten more about proper symbological notation than Indiso's ever likely to know, and is jumping a few steps ahead, but like she's helping in her own way. She does not have the patient trait.
While this is happening, I'm imagining that builders up there doing the thing, and so like I sort of like sheepishly whistle for them, and then like make a hand motion. It's like turn the thing, and then
Right, because Bella like put down a bunch of the cash to get your thing up and running. Okay.
Yeah, Bella's already. Yeah, we're already putting Bella's investment to use. Like we have the distillery, and we have like the weird wine sanctuary thing
Right.
over here, right?
Well, and it was the like you were getting like the stone and walls and windows put together, and then equipment was going to be a separate. Okay.
Yes. So I'm walking her kind of. I imagine like walking up the hill towards the weird stuff, and like the distillery's over sort of on the side here, also being built.
Mhm.
And I'll walk the mystic up, and I'll regale her with this plan I have of like aligning all of the lines of energy and the mystic forces, and getting the ratios of this field to that field to that field all correct.
Oh God, your fields totally make the golden ratio spiral.
Absolutely, yes. And I'll walk her over to the foundation. The whole time, like I'm just like spewing this like nonsense from my face, right? And we have a plan. I've been working with the builders here to better align all these issues, but we've unfortunately we have not been able to wait for the construction to be finished. It's a good thing that you came before it was, because otherwise we would have had the improper alignment. But we've already had to begin the creation of the next vintage without all of the advantages that this mystic knowledge will bring us. And sort of like, I imagine that there's just like a really like an unfinished like dugout hole under this place, right?
Yeah.
That's got like casks of wine in it aging. And like
Good.
the plan is to eventually like finish it.
Mm-hmm.
But right now it's just like a hole that leads down like a dirt ramp into an underground area under where this sanctuary is going to be.
Okay.
There's like casks of wine in here.
Sure. So, are you looking to roll a thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'll roll vendor and fail for it.
I mean, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that's where I'm in.
Okay.
I need to get this started. This needs to be
Okay.
thing that is going on. So I need to get some stuff in the ground here. Pull this out a little bit. Vintner. So,
I love that there's a sing skill.
yes, there is. I'm thinking grape-wise, herbalism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those two for sure. Well, I need to look back up what the
I think because you basically said that your facilities are shit, I'm gonna increase the ob on you.
No. Yeah, that's fair.
But the obstacles are swill is 1, drinkable is 2, good wine is 3, excellent wine is 4, legendary is 5.
Okay, I believe last time I went for excellent and I hit it, but I could have gotten legendary. So what's my ob increase going to be?
I think it's just 1 extra die.
Okay.
Maybe it's
So-
2. Maybe it's 2. You don't have the proper tools. I think it's 2.
All right, so maybe this one just has to hold me over here. All right, so I have so herbalism.
Mhm.
What's it on? Grape wise, Roland Vintner. So that's probably 2 that I can fork in.
Yep.
I think so. So plus 2 is going to be excellent wine is going to be ob 6.
Yeah.
That is fucking brutal.
Do you want to improve your vintner?
I think that's what I'm gonna do, honestly. I think I'm gonna spend a persona point on this one.
Okay.
Just to get some bonus here.
The
And-
vintner persona point. I just put it in the skill record.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm rolling 6. I'm rolling 7 at 6. Let's take the swing.
Holy shit!
Jeez.
I'm actually really good at this, you guys.
Look at how
really
many
should've went for
6s you
legendary.
rolled. He did. He got legendary. Or no, legendary
No.
was 7?
Legendary would have been 7, but I guarantee you can almost guarantee that if I were to spend a fate point, I could get a 7th.
You have 5
Yeah.
6s.
Damn it. Okay. That's twice now I've like chumped out of legendary and shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Never happening again.
Nope.
So, mark my words, Twitch chat. That is never happening again.
You rolled
That's-
5
I'm
6s on 8 dice.
I'm changing a belief to be I can make legendary wine. God damn it.
I only make legendary wine.
From here on out.
So, I mean, I think like the mystic is like she gets to the top and just squeezes your hand. And she says, "Child, do you know what this place you've brought me to is?"
It is to be the holiest place of my grapery. Obviously.
I don't know that you've ever been more correct in your life. So, kind of glad at the start of the session I was just like, this is D&D and things have power and like doing stuff makes things better and whatnot. There's probably some like 1,000-year-old like elf blessing or like
Okay.
elf god has like blessed these lands. Like, you're absolutely correct that there is just something capital M magical, probably capital D divine. Like, the elf god of wine blessed this place.
Okay. Okay.
And the mystic is going to tell you as much. Like, she's on board. Whatever the hell you're doing here, like, not to diminish Indiso's role in this, but like it's like important as wine gets in this region. You've luck-sacked into whatever it is.
Yes.
And it's important that you protect it. Scratch that. It's not some elf god bless this place. It's an orc god bless this place.
I was gonna say it makes way
Yeah.
more sense.
Yeah.
If it's like one of the orc pantheon.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm muted
Yeah.
while like saying stuff. Is it like the what are the orcs like in this setting, right?
Yeah.
Do they trend towards winemaking? Are they craftsmen?
They
Are
do.
they vegetarian?
Yes.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Like this is a grapery that was run by an orc. It's currently staffed by orcs who actually know what they're doing, right? And I didn't. That's in no way my doing.
Explicitly, though, you also know what you're doing about this.
It's true. It's true. But I think we know what we're doing in very different ways.
Yes.
I think that there's probably some very strong like conflict there that we're all sort of like glossing over and trying to make it work, right? But also, yeah, like I think maybe orcs are vegetarian because they've got 2 goats. They've just been here forever.
It's one of the orc like cultural traits is absolutely like kinship with ungulates or something, right? Like they just get along with hoofed mammals, which is why like it's not. I imagine there's actually like 6 goats, and you just only know of 2 of them.
Well, I only see 2 at any point in time.
Yeah.
and I call them all Tusk.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Absolutely.
And your employees imagine that Tusk is just like your word for goat.
It's the elfin word for goat.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah, and so now I'm imagining that they're doing the like at least some of them are doing like not if not full on like magic, but like
No, it's the mundane work of magic, right? Like
yeah, like the Warhammer 40K like
yeah.
this is how we do the thing.
Yeah.
And here for some reason it's super effective, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I would definitely like listen to her and sort of nod along as she explained all this to me and sort of take notes in my head.
Yeah.
And like in my head, like the decoration of the sanctum is changing significantly, right? Like it's gone from being like mystic, woodsy, elven things to like whatever Indiso's brain tells him is orc stuff.
Great.
Which, yeah.
Hashtag orc things.
Which I'm sure he'll be corrected
Yes.
by what the
You had a major domo. Yeah.
whose name I can't remember. I think it was named Pigeon, something named after our friend
Yeah.
in chat.
Quail.
Quail. And so yeah, and I will nod along, and I imagine Bella's like over there, like, what?
I mean, she's interested, right? Because magic is a thing that you can learn, and like, you can do science to the processes of magic. you can quantify magic in this setting, right? Like,
Yeah. So I would lead a very short tour around the base, sod basement. And I imagine there's like probably mushrooms growing on the walls and things, just because we haven't like got in them out. There's like occasionally see a snake slither out and then back in to a hole. And then I'll lead them both out. So that seems to be going well. Excellent. We've begin construction on this. Bella, would you like to see the distillery that we have begun construction work on?
I have never wanted anything more in my life.
Excellent.
And she's, I think at this point she's gonna. May I lead you, Mystic grandmother? What should I? And Mystic is fine, dear. And like, puts her like tiny little hand in like Bella's, like in the crook of Bella's elbow.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, so when you're talking about the flows of energy, and I think at this point, Bella's kind of like, oh, this is a person who knows much more the shit that I'm interested in. Like, you're still like valuable in this relationship in that you're the bridge between these two people, but she's like, oh, this lady has the real shit.
This person's way more important to me now than you are. Yes.
It's not more important so much as just like more interesting at this moment. The description of Bella that I put on your character sheet as a relationship, I think, is the bored heiress of the saltpeter mine.
Looking for adventure.
Yeah. Also, it's the orc god of Pachun, Pachun. Wine, sacrament, fungus, and endings.
Yay. Okay. We will be sure to properly venerate this god as soon as I can figure out how to do that.
You mentioned like mushrooms growing in the cellar, and I was like, fungus goes in.
Yeah, I'm imagining. Yeah, it's like an orc. This is like the orc god of like food preparation or something, right? Like it's
basically
like, this is. We have mushrooms. We have like dandelions. We eat of the earth, and our wine comes out of the earth, apparently. Yeah. So I'll follow the two ladies down towards the distillery. Very happy with myself. It's just super chuffed about how this whole thing's going right now. It seems awesome.
You roll well when it matters for what it matters.
It's definitely feast or famine. I've noticed for sure. Like I'll roll one success, and then one success, and then one success, and then 6.
Yeah. Just a casual 6 successes. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to like do in this scene, or?
I mean, I would probably like. I don't know if there's a whole lot more for me to be doing if they are essentially with each other at this point. I mean, like I'm very respectful of my betters, and so I'm not gonna like try to interrupt and like elbow in. I'll probably like try to direct some construction works or something if that needs done. I'll be making notes to myself. I'll probably be drinking at this point as always.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the scene. I
was about to ask you if you wanted to roll administration to see how well you direct your orcs.
Oh God,
yeah.
I totally have that skill. That's for sure. Yeah. Why not? I'll do it.
I mean, or like, does your major domo handle that stuff for you?
I think I have Quail for that.
Okay.
But I think the Quail is a very important interface with the organization for me in a lot of real ways.
I should probably I have characters to burn, and Quail is absolutely one of them. And Quail absolutely has like the Vintner life path, so that they have patience.
Nice. Yes.
But yeah, Quail has the patience of a saint of Pachun. Absolutely.
Pachun.
Cool. What's a thing that the lady would ask Margareta to do? Oh, you mentioned stealing documents. What would you do once you had them?
Kill them.
Also, the documents.
Yep.
Kill the documents. Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Like when they do the campaign ads where they shoot laws.
Have
right?
you seen the American Dream is a VR video game? Full disclosure, a few friends of mine worked on it. It is a game made by Australians about basically gun culture
Oh,
in America. And one of the things is like you're born with like just pistols in each hand. And basically to interact with anything you shoot it, or like you don't have hands, you just have pistols functionally. And there's
Oh my gosh. The trailer for the game involves you shooting open a beer can.
it's like that episode of The Simpsons, right, where Homer gets a gun and
Like-
use it for literally everything.
you go to work at a donut factory and you shoot the holes into the donuts.
God.
But one of the things, so there's a what do you call it? Live action trailer, or like, yeah, basically piece of promotional material for it. But they end it by shooting a check to sign it. And I imagine that that's how Mike like does everything now.
But much
Well,
more slowly, because you only have one time. You have to constantly.
I have to own this game.
I
It's
imagine it could also be the more like the Zorro thing, though. She slashes the document.
yeah.
She has like sign her entire name, so it's like it's just like a shredded document when she's done with it.
That's very good. I just like the idea of Nobles just shooting paperwork, just like notate it, right?
Well, it's like so the Simpsons reference again. The makeup shotgun, right? but it's like a special way of loading your blunderbuss so that it like creates the sigil of your house when it hits.
Yeah. I mean, we are a violent people here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Lady Anna Treno would like to know what you would do with documents or ledgers once you had acquired them.
Well, knowledge is power, of course. And once I have the foreknowledge of what they're going to do, I can disrupt that. I can set motions and plan in place to stop it from having this desired effect. I can send my information on to my agents to have them, take goods or seize things. And also, I can change their documents in order to make them foolish or dangerous or outright rebellious of their own nature to their own throne, to make them cause problems. It all depends on the document. There's so many wonderful ways to change, make even small changes to cause big effect.
You mentioned your agents?
Oh yes, I have several capable confidants.
Would you like to roll falsehood again?
They're competent.
It's more the several.
I don't know, 2, several,
See, I go by the Heroes of Might and Magic scale.
a couple.
There you go.
Zounds.
Yeah.
I can roll the falsehood for Zounds.
Zounds agents.
Zounds of agents. Oh, peasants, really.
I mean, Zounds of peasants still take out a black dragon. God. Old Heroes of Might and Magic. So, sorry.
So good.
Are
I
you,
listened to the soundtrack for 2.
are you passing on the roll, or?
Do you want me to roll? Yeah, sure.
I mean, are you trying to fool this person in that you have like a well-connected and like?
I love the idea
I
that
will
she's like. Sorry, I love the idea she's like this raptor at the fences, constantly trying to figure out like what lie gets through with this person, right?
Also, I mean, like, not metagamey, but always lying is beneficial to this character, and also kind of why I created this character.
Okay. So yeah, she has a will of 6.
Still.
Yep. Still has a will of 6.
Still have a level 6. And there's not really much for me to fork in here.
I also
Sadly.
don't know that this is a particularly believable lie, but I'm not gonna say it's like so bad that I'm gonna punish you for it.
I mean, several's not that outlandish.
No, exactly.
It's perhaps,
It's an embellishment.
yeah, but
It's a shame you aren't embellishments wise.
yeah, I don't have anything on fork in here. I got nothing.
Um,
Even my traits don't really seem to be useful. Sadly, my foraging and orienteering have not come
Yeah.
up yet.
I'm still waiting for you to like try to ugly truth this lady, but
You're foraging for believable lies, man.
Oh, well, I got two sixes.
I mean,
Yeah, I might as well spend the fate.
Ooh,
Right?
Sure.
Yeah. Fate's easy come, easy go.
yeah.
It's not impossible that I get at least, I mean, I didn't.
No, but you got closer.
It
She's-
wasn't
Oh,
impossible.
but does the challenging thing account for anything? No, so I was just pissing in the wind here.
I mean, if you snuck the lie under, she would have thought you were a much more like competent ally.
Connected?
Yeah.
Connected, I'm hoping. Competency, clearly.
That's fair.
I shot somebody.
Yeah.
Good allies shoot people.
Well, and, like at this point, she thinks of you as like someone maybe she can bring into the organization if you can be broken of some of your habits. If you had like fooled her here, she might have been like, "Oh, this person is actually someone like worth taking seriously."
Sadly, I'm not.
Yeah. And I don't even know if she says like anything about the lie that she's detected it. She just yes. Actually no. Do you mean the drunk, or do you mean the do you mean the drunk, or do you mean the merchant?
Well, technically speaking,
Do you mean the drunk or the merchant upstart?
the drunk has several minions of their own, and the merchant upstart has money, which, as we all know, commands both power and minions of its own. So what I said was not strictly untrue.
Thank you for confirming it is neither the drunk or the merchant upstart. The news hasn't traveled around yet that you're actually a man about town. And as for money being power, that is precisely the problem I am trying to remedy, and given time and my tenacity, I believe I will prove that money is not directly power, but merely another avenue. Not unlike violence, not unlike coercion, not unlike information. Power is power.
I'm not certain that power is power, but surely we are both canny enough to know that there is more power than naked force, and a word or a whisper can be just as effective as a stab or a shot.
Absolutely, that's why I've abducted a lord and not shot him outside his residence in the dead of night.
You should try sometimes.
I have. There's a time and a place for each instrument.
All right. So, what documents exactly do you want?
I'm not entirely certain what there is to steal, but the lordling in my care at this juncture is proving less than interested in his own safety so long as I keep him drunk and laid. He's not so much a captive of me as he is a captive of his own desires, but I do believe that is a thing that is catching lately. What I need is something, ultimately something that proves that these Upper Argent fuckers are here Not as friends or countrymen or allies, but as the occupiers we know them to be.
I mean, have you tried pulling off your fingernails? Peeling, I guess, is the favorite term.
Thus far, I've attempted to keep my hands clean, but if you're offering,
No, I'll take a stab at it.
great. Got interrogation. Good times. Fuck. You're so fucked up.
I created this character for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, Orphan Torture-Wise is one of them.
Did you? You've got bribe-wise, I know.
That's why I'm saying opening Torture-Wise.
Oh, okay. There is also the torture skill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Obstacle is equal to the victim's will or fort, whichever is higher.
Appropriately, hopefully it doesn't actually yield any beneficial effect.
This unsavory skill is inducing pain in a victim in order to have the victim acquiesce to demands or reveal information. To use this skill, the torturer must state exactly what they wish the victim to submit to or reveal. They do not ask a question of their victim. If successful, the victim submits or reveals exactly what the torturer stated in their intent. The victim also acquires a debilitating trait equal in value to the obstacle of the torture test. Maimed, missing eye, etc. Yes, the more willful you are, the worse the trait.
If the test is failed, the GM can cause a victim injury or death, or grant them a beneficial trait to resist privation, torture, or interrogation.
Yep, forks are anatomy, surgery, and interrogation. Tools, yes. But yeah, if you want to sit down and have a nice conversation with this little lordling, she can probably arrange that.
Sure.
Very good. She'll call for you at some future. I think she's very good. Speak with my man outside. He'll get you some details. This won't happen immediately. I still have a few more reliable assets than you to work through first, but if you'd like to prove yourself and gain access to my resources, I'm willing to give talent a try.
Yeah, sure. That sounds like fun.
You're gonna let her just like talk down to you?
Oh, no, I'm going to come back in here and take all of her shit.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna...
Yeah, you don't say that.
I've already rolled falsehood enough times poorly.
Get those tests in, man.
Yeah, but I need
You already
to go
have the challenging
lie...
one.
Right, I need to go lie to a drunkard that wants to believe me now.
So yeah, she chews you fairly, like... You don't have etiquette, so you don't know precisely how rude she's being, but she's being rather rude.
Do I not have etiquette? Damn it. Can I open etiquette to see how rude she's being?
Yeah, but you're gonna fail and it'll be funny. I don't actually know if you... I don't know if etiquette does that. I know etiquette is you not being rude to people.
Why are there so many skills?
There are so many skills.
So very many skills.
I kind of like it because it forces you to, like, actually pick and choose what kind of spy you are. And you're the kind of spy who's a blade in the dark. This podcast not sponsored by John Harper. Well, I mean, technically, he's one of our patron.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of is, actually.
Go buy Blades in the Dark. It's amazing.
It's very
Go
good.
watch us play Blades in the Dark. We have 4 campaigns of it, at least.
Check out Candles in the Dark, because that's the one I'm most proud of.
And Thursdays we're playing Scum and Villainy, which is Forged in the Dark.
Sorry, what was the thing I just said? Etiquette. Etiquette is proper courtly behavior. One cannot make requests of the court without knowing the appropriate social rituals.
Everybody is innocent wise. Oh, everybody's innocent?
Everybody's innocent wise is a wise. Yeah, if you want to open up etiquette.
Yeah. Do you defend against etiquette with etiquette? I guess is the question.
Well, it's just certain obs. So you'll Actually, it's just an all one test for you because you're a minor lord or lady.
Yeah, not sure why not. I'm sure I can roll 2 successes.
I also love that the Queen Mother is a higher etiquette test than the King.
Mm-hmm.
So etiquette is will and perception.
Will and perception. Forks are. I don't get to fork anything.
Yep.
Because it's because I'm bad at this, right?
But I
Maybe.
love how it's both soothing platitudes and falsehood.
Yes, and they're your other two.
Oh, so I destroyed that.
Yeah. She dismissed you far more summarily than someone of your station deserves, but she outranks you.
But I say good night, grandmother.
Yeah. You somehow get the dig in. And she respects you for it. Like, she didn't think you would have the spine to like clap back. And she's impressed that you got her back successfully, right?
Right. It's not particularly rude, but she's not a grandmother.
Yeah.
And but yeah.
Well, and it's also
It's a nice way of saying "fuck off, old lady," I guess.
yeah, right? Like, because she like did the bless your heart to you earlier, and so this is the like you got her back good. So yeah, you've risen in her estimation somewhat by.
Good. Now to figure out how to get her a jar of sweet peach tea.
This isn't the one we want to kill.
Martha.
The only good thing going on that fucking movie.
Martha?
No, the peach tea.
Oh,
Brains
okay.
Peach tea.
I don't know if that's a good thing that came out. Anyways, we're not doing that episode again.
I mean, Thursday we're gonna have that Luke Cage podcast if you want to come on.
You have thoughts. What are you
I
gonna be talking about?
really like actually.
Probably. We
Yeah.
spent 4 hours talking about Iron Fist, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Did that ever see the light of anything? Anyways, we're
It
getting
did,
distracted.
yeah.
Oh, Christ.
We
That came out like the
broadcast
next
it the
week.
next day.
That was our best turnaround on a podcast like ever.
I don't know how I feel about this. Okay. Does anyone else have a scene that they would like to begin and or end?
I feel pretty good about that one.
The other thing is, I think probably at the start of next session, we're probably like, I feel like we're coming to a point where we can elide a number of time units, which means if you have tax, you might want to try to get rid of them.
No.
Because I think it's going to be like 3 months, and it's going to be Merchant Guild is up and running. Margreta gets to interview with the Dwarf Empire, and the wine is done. In like 3 months, because fuck if I'm going to wait like 6 years for your stupid wine to age.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Like the actual because like the elves have a special skill, but it's like it takes centuries for the wine.
Yeah.
Purple talking or whatever.
Yeah. The purple song.
Yeah.
It's not Barney. It's the other thing.
Great.
I love you.
So yeah, if anyone has something they want to do before, let's say, the conclusion of spring.
So Magnus has a bunch of metagaming, not or like power min-max, whatever min-max or power gaming roles to do just for general resource checks
Okay.
to basically get another three fund
Wow.
funds in place.
Okay.
Sweet
And
Jesus.
I basically can't lose if I have infinite rolls effectively.
I mean, let's see how it goes, and I might get in the way of it.
As rules approach.
So the way this works is that I have a base resource check of 8.
Yep.
If I add in a 1-point fund,
Mhm.
that gets to a 9.
Yep.
And I'm basically aiming for difficult rolls here.
Sure.
So if I do a 3-point fund is a 7. So
Yep.
that's 9v7.
Mhm.
And I may or may not succeed.
Well, and you've got to finish. Oh, you're including that on your thing.
Yeah, including.
Okay.
So yeah, if I fail, I lose the 1 point fund.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, no, is it a 2 for difficult? 2 is for difficult. Never mind. I'll have to rethink my rolls.
Okay.
So yeah, I basically padding my roll with a fund and then regenerating that lower fund if I need to.
Sure. So I mean, like,
Higher funds and cash. So yeah,
I'm like, if you fail, I'm probably going to throw a curveball at you.
yeah.
So I mean, if you want to do the thing, let's.
So resources need to have difficult, or have to have successes to.
Yes, you need to be successful on a
Okay.
difficult roll.
Okay. Let's just try maybe like 1 or 2,
Okay.
just to see what we can do.
Sure.
So I need. So now I have to change this now. So it's 7. 10. Do I? Can
Also,
I opt
Zach,
to
you're
not use
taxed
affinity
if
for
you-
business?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to.
Okay. So we'll go with the roll that I had set up then.
Okay.
So this is this modifier 2 base 7.
Yeah, if you're just rolling your
Yeah.
resources and not your affinity.
No. It's
Oh, the ob.
So for a 3-point fund, base 7.
I believe so. I'm gonna find it.
It's
again.
double +1 should be for a fund.
Yeah. I'm just gonna absolutely double check.
Sure.
Cash on hand, funds, properties. Yeah, double +1.
Okay. I want to blow a fate point on that.
Yeah, you do. You have 4 6s.
Jesus. Okay.
I mean, he rolled 9 dice.
So that's the.
You got there. Keep
Yeah,
rolling
you got it.
the 6 though.
Oh. Okay.
I just really want to see the die go all the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've created another 3-point fund. So what's this one representative of? Is this like the resources of the guild?
So yeah, I think this is the guild hall, and it's sort of as we fold in more businesses, there's going to be like not tithes, but membership fees and whatnot. So, and then using that to branch out from there.
And I think we get like Eladrian walks into like your office, which is still like there's a few pieces of furniture still under cloth, and like there's a couple people dusting as the two of you are talking. She says, Magnus, I just wanted to let you know that the membership, the association fees have begun coming in, and like they will of course be dispensable to you and other, to you and me with permission.
Excellent. I'll look over those numbers and plan our next moves.
Excellent. If I could suggest something,
Certainly.
that friend of yours up in the hills, Endiso.
Yes, do so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the most reliable sort, but is capable of making a passable vintage from time to time. I'm just going to use NPCs to throw shade on other player characters constantly. Y'all are hot messes. Capable of making a passable vintage. But with proper investment and direct control, that vineyard could be much more than it is. I've heard tales of construction, and they worry me that he is sullying land that is so bountiful otherwise.
Thank you for that information. I'm sure the guild will act accordingly.
I leave it in your capable hands. And then, like, does some salute. Like, it's not a bow, but it's like a sign of mutual respect, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's not submissive, but it's like she actually... You convinced her that you're competent, and she's giving you enough rope to hang yourself.
Certainly.
And I think Vigo is probably in your office, just like lounging on a chair, sipping an espresso. And like someone's like working around him, like dusting around him as he just sits there. How the mighty have fallen, eh, Chief?
Well, throw enough at these people and they fall in line.
Ooh.
Fuck, I like Magnus. You're so horrible. I love it. Cool. So you're rich beyond compare.
Yeah, I need more. I always need more.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to get my resource to a point where if it was gray shaded, it's still strong.
Well, so gray shade during character creation drops you down by 5. If you
Oh,
gray
that's-
shade in play, you stay where you are. Your dice
Oh.
just get better.
Yeah, so you just roll your 12 dice at 3s instead of 4s.
Nice.
I love the idea of white shading resources, and it's you literally have more money than God.
I control the very concept of money.
Okay.
Okay, actually, there was one more thing I wanted to do.
Sure.
Which is, it's going to be rough here, but I want to use Merchant Wise to set a new rule now.
Okay.
The Merchant Guild is in place.
Sure.
All money must flow through Magnus first.
That business have to register with the guild.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't far off, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we're not like, tithing or anything, but you have to officially register with the guild to be recognized.
Not yet, Adam says.
Yeah. What does this, like, you just get a list of businesses in the region?
It's sort of like building so the people basically what's going to be is like citizens or former like residents and citizens that have businesses in this area will get fast tracked to the system.
Mm-hmm.
Non-citizen or anyone we don't like gets hassled bureaucratically
Sure.
excessively, and they don't get recognized as an official business. And this might they only have a 2-star on Yelp, and it's basically just a way to slowly start marginalizing anyone that the guild doesn't like.
Sure. I'm just curious, like, what mechanical, like, what you get out of this. Like, what does success look like? And that's, you're opening up people to further harassment?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It's like you get a badge in your window that you get to put. Like this is an A-rank business or something.
Right.
We're creating a system of
Guild
access
approved.
that we can then abuse to harm people we don't like.
I feel
Hi,
like
I'm
this is
Magnus,
either
and I-
6 or 7.
Shit.
It's a lot.
That is a lot, yeah.
Well, so 6 or 7 is an act that requires heroic effort, or 7 is an improbable feat. I could see an argument for 5 where it's an act that requires expertise, but I feel like you're getting a lot for this.
Also, in this environment where the dwarves have at least some say in the economy, like,
Right.
you got to thread that needle.
Yeah. Which is
I
that's why I'm saying it's like not
I
easy.
need challenging roles for this, so let's go for it.
Right.
This probably smells like regulation to them.
Yeah. It smells like regulation to the capitalists. So yeah, I think
It's exactly the kind of big government.
8 is an act requiring preternatural ability or a lot of help. Which I think... And I mean, yeah, if you fail, that was the way things were. And that's like what you recognize as the default, but the dwarves have suspended it because it's too much regulation and red tape. And
It'll probably end up being why the old guild shut down.
The dwarf shows up. I am the Senate.
Le Sénat, c'est moi.
And wises are not forkable?
You can
Wise
fork
rolls?
skills into skills, yeah.
Okay. I don't know what I do with this one anyways, though.
Um,
So what was the final ob?
I think 8. I think is a lot.
Okay. So we'll just fork administration into this.
Makes
and
sense.
That'll keep it as a challenging roll.
Sure. Let's see how many 6s you roll.
Oh, jeez. I burned them all in the resource check.
Oh,
Not enough and no 6s.
oh.
Brutal.
So yeah, I mean, that was the way things were. I think the Merchant Guild has been shut down for like longer than recently. Like it's been gone for longer than you've been alive.
Yeah, no, I'd imagine Magnus wasn't anyway associated with the guild at all, even in his youth.
Yeah, it's a thing you've heard tales of, and it's like the the exos of the old Merchants Guild, titans of industry, and striding across the land with gold pantaloons and
Something to aspire to one day.
right. But yeah, it's maybe even like you put the motion forth to be like as blah blah blah, and just get like a form letter back functionally from the Upper Argent folks. Like they don't dignify your request or your demand with the time of day.
Right. This is why we got shut down last time. Maybe we're not nowhere near with that wealth and power yet. It's too soon.
Yeah, you swung too big out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a little too big for your britches here.
Yeah. Cool. So Zach, I want to give you a chance to resolve your taxes before the tax man comes rolling.
No, we covered that, didn't we?
I took care of the
get
taxes.
a benefit on your taxes roll. You don't get rid of them completely. I feel like
I feel like
made
okay,
this
so
point.
two things I want to talk about. Number one, I charmed the shit out of that guy. Number one,
Sure.
Right? Number two, his boss is dead now.
That doesn't stop the taxman.
Taxman
Rain,
coming.
sleet, snow, bullet to the face. Right.
Yeah.
No, I need to get that resolved. For
So-
sure.
What's your avenue of attack here?
Yeah, so like the way that they describe in the book, just like go work a job for a while.
Well, so
Like,
work is the like guaranteed method.
yeah.
But to do work, you functionally stop being a player character.
Yeah,
sucks.
and I don't want to do that.
Work
Yeah.
sucks. The way a Burning Wheel player character gets rid of tax is by fixing the problem. Like, if you go out and sell a vintage, you fix it in the fiction, basically.
So I think what I want to do, since I'm imagining that.
You cut out.
Right. Sorry, I'm imagining the wine in the cellar is not going to be remotely ready.
No.
Right. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go and I'm going to find the still that my workers have somewhere here that they make the grappa with.
Okay.
I'm going to start experimenting,
Okay.
and I'm going to create some sort of like wildly flavored and just like incredibly potent alcohol that we're going to sort of like float around to try to make some quick cash,
Okay.
pay off my debts.
Love it. Sure. I definitely thought you were going to go to your noble friend and be like, "Hi."
Got
What
some
am I-
scratch.
I mean, I could. So you're talking about the cousin or whatever,
Or Bella, or your cousin.
or Bella.
Either or.
I mean, I imagine if we put together like strong enough booze, Bella's going to be strongly on board.
Yes.
And I also imagine like if we smuggle it into the court, it'll probably be a hit with some of the
Mhm.
the less the less respectable of the noble classes.
Well, I mean,
But-
and like this is a prideful and violent society, so like absolutely you drink the hard liquor and brag about it.
Yeah, and I want to make the hardest, mostly clear liquid I can.
Good.
Just brutal, and like with tiny hints of whatever. Like I'm imagining like it's just grape leaves and husks, and like we're almost making ethyl alcohol here. Just we're gonna make it out of
Good.
like this is biodiesel that we're gonna pour down some people, right?
Why not?
Why not?
Okay.
And
Oh.
the whole time, I'm like fitting a cage around the thing that the distiller, the still that has like what I think are the proper like cercenations and entreaties to Paka, my new patron deity.
Do you have the cercenation skill, which is distinct
I-
from symbology?
I do not, in fact, have any of that. No.
The cercenation skill?
Yes.
What does that do?
The drawing of ritual circles.
Mhm.
It gives
should
you
be noted-
bonuses on sorcery stuff.
It should be noted that the cercenations is also a separate skill from the skill that allows you to draw circles that summon angels.
Yes, that's Empyrelia.
That's in Perelia.
Oh, of course.
They atomized the skill list real hard.
Yes.
Real hard. And especially when you get into like the really weird shit, right? Which I can appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can appreciate that like this stuff takes a wide and varied and like
Empyrelia is also like angels wise. So
yeah.
okay. So what's the roll?
I mean, I think we already talked about how doing vintner as sort of the distilling skill as well.
Yes.
Right. So the rest of this is sort of just flavor, and I'm learning
Okay.
how to use the still properly, essentially.
Okay.
I'm practicing.
I feel
I
like this
don't-
is going to be difficult.
I'm fair. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
That seems reasonable. I think I want to say grape wise probably will apply because there will be parts of grape things.
Yep.
in there. I don't with herbalism. I feel like I'm going pretty far afield here.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain it is, but I'm going to check.
Well, what's my ob? If you had to.
I think probably 4, maybe 5, probably 5. What was I looking for? Right.
5 is a lot.
Mhm. I mean,
It's fine. I'm taking the shot. We're gonna do this. Okay.
I think I just found the distillation skill, which is to say alchemy, because it says alchemy is the distillation of materials.
Yes.
No more skills, no.
But you can use vintner for this, because you are making wine product.
Oh god, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Anyways,
Hey, poison's always forks into alchemy.
yep.
So we'll come back to that maybe.
Actually, that might be what forks in here. Instead of herbalism is poisons.
Jesus.
It's alcohol.
It's true, yeah.
You said what you're making is basically ethyl alcohol.
It's basically this will make you go blind. Okay. So my ob is what? Sorry, I forgot.
5.
5. Okay, we're gonna fork in. So 5 ob.
Mm-hmm.
Modifiers. We're gonna fork in twice. Submit.
I mean, if you want to make other arguments for forks.
I mean, I don't have. I mean, wine tasting is not going to apply.
Okay.
Haggling, stealthy, persuasion, no. Inconspicuous, palace secrets.
Well, so I mean, like,
Ugh.
if you want to start making arguments for some of these, like, there probably are some that exist. Because the goal of this role is that you get rid of your tax, is to make cash.
Yeah. So I think grape wise and poison.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking Cooking is all about how to like combine things and underheat. Just saying.
Okay.
I'm cooking poison.
Right. Like that's I think is covered by poison, but sure.
All right. I think that's what I got since herbal.
Okay.
I don't see herbalism applying
Yeah.
here. I don't want to pre-spin any Artha on this probably. I
Okay.
don't think.
All right.
I have 2 more Persona points laying around. I could.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will. We're gonna make the best damn engine cleaner that they've ever had.
2 sunk in Vintner. Okay.
Base ob is 5.
Yeah.
Throw it.
Oh.
Okay. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. No, that didn't work at all.
You make it. You sell it. You get some cash. A few minor nobles get sick.
Oh,
None of them are from Upper Argent.
Okay.
oh.
But yeah, there's like people are just cautious about your experiments. Very few people are willing to like publicly say that like, oh yeah, I drank some funky wine and I just vomited everywhere, because you don't show weakness. But it's just it's going to be harder to sell wine next time around. You've scared a few people off. Bella loves this stuff, but she doesn't drink it.
Right, she uses it to decrease her engine.
Wait, I just rolled persuasion. What the
Yes, you
fuck?
did. Do you want to try again with Vintner?
I mean, it's up to you. We can just let it stand because I misclicked or whatever.
Let's give it a shot.
How much different is your vintner roll?
1.
1. It's
Roll
not a
more.
huge. Not a huge
Or yeah,
deal.
roll 1 extra die. See if you get a 6.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, insult to injury.
Yep. Your second difficult test.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to getting higher because I need to do stranger, crazier shit with my wine. That clearly needs to happen.
But yeah,
Need more
you
excuses
sold it,
than
you
faith.
cleared some tax, but you've turned a number of people off your product.
Awesome. I'm super into that.
It's fine when you start making, like, Pokken-based orc wine.
I'm gonna all the orc wines, just blood of the earth from 2 tusks of graperies.
God. Cool. And I think I owe you a dream for the next session.
Yeah, it's probably about time for swing that back around.
But I'm going to say that we're about at the end of this session, so that those of us who have flights early tomorrow AM can get at least a half-hour extra sleep. But let's go over beliefs and instincts and do end-of-session Artha. And in DSO, I've got your character sheet up first, so...
All right, I am a maestro of the grapery. I will create a new vintage that proves this. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Which also means you aren't extremely respectful of one's betters anymore.
Dun dun dun!
Boop.
Yeah, no, I'm back on my shit, back on my bullshit, which is why I failed so hard at the distilling, probably.
Bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the distillery is one of several great steps I am taking for the future of my grapery. I need to get that up and running as soon as possible. I feel like I'm taking steps to do that,
Yep.
but I'm nowhere near done.
Sure.
And then my dreams have power. I must learn to interpret them. I will construct a sanctum for my studies again.
I feel like 2 and 3 are pretty similar, because the distillery
Yeah.
is the sanctum, or the same construction project.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. We'll hold off on that then. It's not like I'm not swimming in fate points as it is anyway.
Yeah.
And then the instinct, I will accept a drink if offered. Nothing happened. I will look for occult signs and all things. I definitely did that.
Yep.
Definitely did that. I will always follow my dreams. I'm not currently operating under any dreams as it stands.
I was not patient. I was sort of off kilter, but it didn't really matter. Prideful. I didn't ask for help,
Mm-hmm.
and I just ran straight at that still and was like, "We're gonna sell this shit.
Yeah.
I'm making paint thinner. And we're gonna sell this shit."
Well, it got you in trouble. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, take fate for that.
No violent, no traditionalists, and Dreamer didn't matter. So that's me with 2 fate points and a persona coming out of this. And I need to rethink a couple of my beliefs, I think.
Cool. I think too. The way you've got it worded right now, it's a fate farm. In that like construction is going to take some time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
the way that you get persona for that one right now is when construction ends.
Yes.
So if you want to like break that down into a smaller, like I need to get the sanctum up and running as soon as possible, therefore I will do small thing. That's how you start getting persona out of it. But I mean, if you want it as a fate farm, that's fine too.
Works both ways.
Okay.
We'll take a look at it here between sessions. So that puts me at 10 fate and 2 persona standing with no deeds.
Goodness. Margreta.
Hi. I don't really think I made any progress in discerning myself in the usurper's court.
Okay.
Except possibly, well, yeah, not really. I have made progress to getting somebody else in the usurper's court.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not actually there yet. And I didn't kill anybody.
Sure. Do you want to change that one? Like, it's been vague for a couple sessions. If you plan on killing people, then keep it. If you plan on killing important people that will, like, further the revolution.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you make it, like, all change is rooted in chaos, killing and actually defining a person, then cool. I can put that person in your way and get you to kill them and try to dissuade you from doing so, but
I think I need to remove the killing portion and change it with something else. Like,
okay.
I don't know.
It works for violent, honestly.
What's that?
It works with like your violent trait. So
yeah, but like I'm not going to be killing somebody every session.
Yes.
So,
okay.
And I don't know. I found some good information about the governess.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that I made a new contact there, and I'm not sure that I told her anything important that she doesn't already know, and perhaps I've fudged a bunch. So I feel like the instincts were adhered to.
Yeah. I think you probably earned fate for your prideful thing because you just kept bloviating at her.
Yeah.
And that definitely got you in trouble with her and then kind of back out.
So 1 fate.
Yep. And then you got fate for working towards your second thing because you at least have a person who is interested in getting the ledgers from you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. And then I'll figure out what sort of chaotic things I can do.
Cool. Magnus.
Yes. So, first belief about non-citizens, getting rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do something with that.
You tried. Yep.
But so I'm taking fate. I'm probably going to change that one up to make it more interesting.
Okay.
'Cause I've had that one for a long time and not done much with it. Second one, preserving citizenship by making the Merchants Guild. I'm done with that. It's made. So a persona on that, I'm guessing.
Yep.
And I'll probably change that one to how I want to direct the Merchants Guild next time.
Okay.
And then I added a third belief stating wealth must be recognized by the nobles. I will open negotiations with them. So probably Magnus thinking that we deserve titles.
Mm-hmm.
Are clearly our outstanding financial deeds.
Any instincts or traits get you in trouble?
I could argue that self-satisfied, the first thing he did after taking leadership role was, overreaching.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only one I could argue for, trait and instinct wise.
Yeah, absolutely. I tend to be generous with fate. Like most arguments will probably result in getting fate. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's all I got. So that's 2 fate and a persona.
Cool. Well, that'll do it for us for tonight. We've been That D&D Podcast. I'm still Andrew Otway. Other people are still themselves, hopefully. If not, please consult a local physician. But you out there, have a lovely evening. And be sure to take care of yourselves. Night.
Night or not.
Water.